This might have been the most emotional episode of solo leveling to date, and I absolutely loved it. Hello everyone, I'm Finn. Welcome back to Finn Films. Join me today as once again we are breaking down and explaining everything that happened on Solo Leveling Season 2, Episode 9. An episode where everyone's favorite demon girl falls in love with Jin-Woo, a group of S-ranked hunters are about to brawl, and Jin-Woo breaks down in tears? So last time on Solo Leveling, Jin-Woo continued his ascent to the 100th floor of the Demon Tower to gain access to the last ingredient to craft the elixir of life. On the way, he encountered and befriended a cute demon girl named Eshel who accompanied him to the 100th floor where he faced off against the Demon King, Baran. Meanwhile, back in the real world, the flying S-ranked ants from Jeju Island attacked and killed a number of civilians on a small Japanese island, causing the Korean Hunters Association to declare the 4th Jeju Island raid. But this time, they will be accompanied by 10 S-ranked Japanese hunters from the largest Japanese guild. Back in the Demon Realm, Jin-Woo narrowly overcomes the Demon King Baran in what was Jin-Woo's closest fight to date, only barely killing him with a key distraction from Eshel. Jin-Woo basking in his victory as he claims the final piece for the elixir of life, the thing that he needed to cure his mother. Season 2, Episode 9 of Solo Leveling picks up here where we left off in the Demon Realm, with Jin-Woo claiming the final piece of the elixir of life, the Devil's Blood. He quickly attempts to craft the elixir, but is given a notice that the crafting success and yield will depend on his intelligence score. After a few tense moments, it is revealed that Jin-Woo succeeded in this crafting and was given 6 doses of the elixir of life. Finally, after all of this time, all of the things that our sweet boy has been through since Episode 1, Jin-Woo has finally succeeded on his primary mission, the mission to get his mother back after she has spent 4 years asleep with the eternal sleep disease. Before Jin-Woo leaves the Demon Realm, he adds the Demon's Queen Wyvern to his army of shadows, saying goodbye to Eshel, who it seems like was about to pledge her loyalty or possibly declare her love to him before he suddenly teleports back to South Korea. Meanwhile, the Hunters Association and the S-ranked hunters from Korea are preparing for the 4th Jeju Island raid, as they have failed 3 previous times to close this S-ranked dungeon, losing many hunters and some even S-ranked hunters in the process. Even with the assistance of the S-ranked hunters from Japan, many of the Korean S-ranked hunters, like the White Tiger Guild Master Bake, know that there is a good chance that they may not return alive, such is the way of the hunter. Bake having a drink with his old companion, an S-ranked healer, who retired at a young age from the hunter life, and does not wish to see any more bloodshed and battle in his lifetime. This episode did seem to tease that this healer could have a change of heart, as he knows deep down that this mission, the Jeju Island raid, is for the safety of his country and the civilians within it, and that his fellow hunters would really benefit from him being on the raid. I absolutely love these scenes with Bake here, these drinking scenes, as it really tells you kind of the gravity of the situation that the hunters are going through, just how much the hunters risk their lives, and the effect that the hunting job has on a person's psyche. Even the most strongest of hunters, the S-ranked hunters, are still very much mentally affected by all of the bloodshed, the battle, the trauma that they endure facing these magical beasts. Next, we get easily the most heartwarming and best scene of the episode as Jin-Woo gives his mother the elixir of life. Our OP boy here, this young man, has gone through absolute hell and back to save his mother, over that time facing down countless challenges and even chances of death, actually dying literally in our opening episodes before he is reborn and becomes the Giga Chad that he is. But even after this point, Jin-Woo has been forced to do horrible things to survive, such as taking a number of human lives, something that has a drastic effect on him. However, in this moment, all of that is gone as we watch our OP protagonist, the most badass character in our series, break down and cry after his mother wakes up. Jin-Woo having done the unthinkable, literally going to hell and back to save her. Yeah, I may have gotten a little emotional during these scenes. What of it? Now I'm going to talk about this a bit more later in the episode, but I really do love how our author here shows the mental change within Jin-Woo over time. Jinha, Jin-Woo's sister, is also reunited with their mother, and they all go home having a happy reunion, but Jin-Woo can't help but wonder what is next for him, after he has finally accomplished the 2 things that led him to be a hunter in the first place: sending his sister to medical school, which he definitely now has enough money for since he is an S-ranked hunter, and saving his mother. Over to the Hunters Association, we learn that Jin-Woo has agreed to help in the Jeju Island raid, as well we are teased with an S-ranked American hunter who seemingly is able to single-handedly take on armies. What are we now, in Baki? Who is this guy? Yujiro Hanma? Jin-Woo is then taken over to watch a couple of S-ranked hunters spar, where we get a little teaser for Baek's true power, as he is not allowed to unleash his full power in training, as he turns into a feral beast and is unable to control himself, attacking basically anyone, friend or foe alike, a la werewolf style. Their training is interrupted by the S-ranked Japanese hunter and their guildmaster, who seem to be very aware of this new powerful S-ranked hunter who has popped on the scenes in Korea, aka our boy Jin-Woo. The group of Japanese hunters looking absolutely badass. I absolutely love this scene because this is the first time we get kind of a real look at hunters from other countries, and not just any hunters, S-ranked hunters specifically, the best of the best, the most powerful in the entire world. And I love how interconnected and really fleshed out the world of solo leveling is. Our episode coming to an end as the S-ranked hunters agree to spar with the Koreans, teasing our first look at these badass S-ranked powers as episode 9 of season 2 of solo leveling comes to an end. So I absolutely loved this episode. Yes, even though there was basically no combat, no action scenes, I loved so many things about season 2, episode 9 of solo leveling. Specifically, this scene of Jin-Woo breaking down, which makes sense because this scene in the manhwa is one of my favorite scenes. I think that what this episode did really well is really show the depth of the psychology of many of our characters, specifically Jin-Woo and Baek in solo leveling. Obviously, this is a major pivotal turning point for our OP protagonist boy Jin-Woo, a major moment with his mother where he finally gets everything that he has been working for through the entirety of our series, as he cries these tears of joy, but also of pain. Tears of pain specifically for everything that he has gone through to get into this point. Jin-Woo has undergone pain and punishment, literally dying in the process, in honestly horrifically traumatizing scene. I know those early episodes of season 1 of solo leveling were a year ago, but we can't forget how our OP boy was introduced to us as this complete weak hunter, this complete absolute weakling who got traumatized, having his teammates abandon him, straight up leaving him for dead, Jin-Woo literally dying. Of course, after that, he became this giga-strong main character protagonist that we know him today, but he still had to endure the mental trauma of killing multiple humans and undergoing danger and near death multiple times. This having a very distinct impact on his psyche, specifically the taking of human lives. I've mentioned this before, but over season 2 of solo leveling especially, we've very much seen Jin-Woo kind of lose touch with his humanity, his psyche very much breaking, the way he interacts with the world very much changing, especially after he's taken multiple human lives. And we even see this here in this moment that's supposed to be of pure humanity, pure bliss, and pure joy for him as he saved his mother. We see that he has very much been forever changed by his life as a hunter. This kind of idea about the life of hunters very much changing people as a whole being mirrored in its own way by the Guildmaster Baek, who we see getting completely drunk in these scenes leading up to the Jeju Island arc. We very much see that this is how Baek handles the stress and the trauma associated with doing his job as a hunter, as Baek was on the multiple Jeju Island raids beforehand and saw the death and destruction that came in the attempts of these raids. If we remember back to the opening scenes of solo leveling, those scenes of the ants, that was the 3rd Jeju Island raid, if I am not mistaken, and Baek was on that raid, and he saw one of his very good friends die, as well as countless of other hunters die around him. Death is very much a constant for the life of a hunter within solo leveling, and our author does a really good job in showing us how this very much impacts their psyche, impacts their mentality, and impacts their relationship with other people. This impact even happening to the strongest of the strongest hunters, S-ranked hunters, and this also makes sense, as they almost feel a responsibility for the other hunters around them. As the strongest hunters, they very much have a responsibility to protect those around them, those weaker than them. So if someone were to die, they very much seem to blame themselves. Obviously, not all S-ranked hunters are like this, but Baek and Jin-Woo, and it seems like a lot of the more kind of moral S-ranked hunters characters that we've encountered so far very much seem to have this mentality. So then it does make perfect sense that Baek's friend, this S-ranked healer, would want to retire from this life early, especially having not sustained a number number of injuries at all, at least physical. His injuries seemingly being mental injuries, damages to his psyche. And I very much love how Solo Leveling is kind of exploring this very much this mental trauma, this PTSD that the hunters, who are essentially soldiers in this world, are going through. This is something that I very much love about Solo Leveling. Obviously, Solo Leveling is an action-packed, cool kind of shonen, a trapped in a video game, like isekai-esque, like very much of these types of themes that are happening with sick animations, but at its core, it is also a lot deeper than that. There are very much like deep, very much like intricate like plot and story themes going on here, especially in the nature of our characters, the character development process that they go through, and I love anime that are willing to explore these very deep topics. It's one of my favorite things about an anime like Attack on Titan, and to me, I see a lot of mirrors in a lot of story themes between Solo Leveling and an anime like Attack on Titan. Overall, I absolutely love this episode, even if there was no real action scenes in this episode. This episode was very much a plot progressor, but I love what it means for the overall kind of greater story themes of Solo Leveling and for the character development of our boy Jin-Woo. As always, though, guys, this was just my thoughts and opinions, so let me know what you thought of this episode of Solo Leveling in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy this video, learn something new, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, as that is the easiest way to support me, and it really does go a long way in putting this video into the algorithm. If you did enjoy this video, then make sure you check out some of my other anime and Solo Leveling content on screen now. And thank you again so much for continuing to support me, guys. I hope to see you in the next one. Until next time, guys, stay safe out there. Peace, love, Adu.